The following episode contains graphic depictions of sexual assault, guns, and violence, which some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Go ahead.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Pete's Corner, your inside look into everything OSU. I'm Kayla Dunn.
And I'm Seth Fish. Thanks for tuning in.
This week, we'll be looking at safety on campus and in Stillwater. From protecting your online identity to new gun policies to how to have fun and stay safe at homecoming, we've got you covered. But first, we're starting with how to protect yourself from phone scams.
That's right, Kayla. Whenever I'm on campus, I always see people constantly texting, tweeting, or Snapchatting. It's a miracle that we all haven't been hacked already. Noah Southard talked to OSU PD and has tips on how to avoid being scammed.
Oklahoma State prides itself on being one of the safest campuses in the nation. Since June, more and more people are falling victim to phone scams.
That said that they'd received an email or a text that appeared to be fraudulent. After the large number of people started coming forward, we realized that we had a potential problem. So we identified the number of people that had come forward so far, and we used that, and we published an email sent out to the campus to warn them of a potential fraud, so that way they didn't fall susceptible.
According to the OSU PD, there are 35 people that have been scammed. The scammers are using real names, making false claims, and even telling victims to go to the police department.
Educating them that no government entity would request payment over the phone or, in any shape or form, and that the OSU Police Department wouldn't notify them that a warrant was out for their arrest.
As students, our safety is our top priority. With technologies advancing, we need to be more careful who our messages are coming from, like this.
As a student, I just want to be as safe as possible and have my friends be as safe as possible, and I don't want them to fall into some sort of phone scam. And I know that Oklahoma State is one of the safest campuses, but they can only go so far as to protecting who tries to call us or who tries to email us.
In order for us to avoid being a victim, we need to be proactive.
I would say I would visit the FBI.gov website and look at under the IC3 portal. It will educate you on what to look for as far as early indicators. Typically, these people will send you an email or some type of electronic communication showing that you are due these. You have to pay this amount of money, or some outlandish claim that you owe them money or that they're willing to pay you. Usually, the good rule of thumb is if it seems too good to be true, it usually is.
Anyone who receives these calls and or messages needs to contact law enforcement immediately. For Pete's Corner, I'm Noah Southard.
Hello? An all expenses paid Disney cruise? Wait, is this a phone scam?
Whoa, that was a close one, Seth.
I know. Speaking of close calls, I was walking home after class and it started pouring rain out of nowhere. Oklahoma weather can be so unpredictable.
So true. One day it's 100 degrees, and the next it's 50, and there's severe thunderstorm warning. It's hard to know how to prepare for such extreme weather conditions and stay safe. Josh Kindle has more information on Stillwater's crazy weather trends and weather preparedness.
Oklahoma has an infamous nickname known as Tornado Alley, but that's not the only dangerous weather that likes to make itself known around here. Oklahoma is prone to severe thunderstorms and tornadoes, earthquakes, and most recently, floods. I'm standing in the basement at the General Academics building. This is one of 25 locations that acts as a refuge shelter in case of severe weather. Now, this basement can only hold up to 218 people at a time. Other locations throughout the campus can house up to 1,000 people. Now, it's only open to OSU students and the faculty, but this is still a great place to take cover in case of severe weather. They have heavy steel doors and the walls are reinforced with rebar, concrete, and blocks to prevent collapse and help protect people. There's also a fire extinguisher in case of emergencies. In May of 2019, Stillwater suffered from a massive flood, which closed many roads and caused damage to a lot of property. Natalie Watkins, Turning Point board treasurer, had to evacuate her horses from her ranch.
So we have an emergency escape route and evacuation plan and everything before anything happened. Then on May 21st, 2019, the unimaginable happened. A 500-year flood hit Stillwater.
Watkins suffered up to $10,000 in damage. During a flood, it is never safe to walk in the water. You are subjecting yourself to disease, sewage, and even dangerous animals. In freezing temperatures, it is always best to never drive. Black ice is almost invisible and hard to maintain control of your vehicle. Ron Hill, emergency manager for OSU.
You can pick multiple apps. No one app is better than the other. No one app is more accurate than the other.
It is important to stay safe and weather aware. Always have a course of action in case of severe weather. For Pete's Corner, I'm Josh Kendall.
Thanks, Josh. I'll have to go home and clean out my closet in case of any tornadoes.
Me too. Even though we have to deal with the psycho weather, one thing we don't have to worry about is crime. Kayla, did you know that Stillwater is considered one of the safest cities in Oklahoma?
That's right, Seth. Since 2015, Stillwater has seen a significant decrease in the number of total arrests. Prominent crimes include drug and narcotic violations, drug equipment violations, simple assaults, shoplifting, aggravated assaults, and stolen property offenses.
Wow, I had no idea that Stillwater had so many arrests last year.
I know. We're going to take a short commercial break, but stay with us. Coming up, we're going to take a look at programs that educate and offer help to those who experience violence on campus.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Sure lock the right.
Welcome back. Before the break, we learned about crime in Stillwater. But what about crime on campus?
Yeah, what is OSU doing to be proactive against violence on campus?
Seth, have you heard about the program One is Too Many? It teaches advocacy in cases of sexual assault. Caitlin Seiler talked with OSU's sexual assault specialist to find out more.
1 in 5 young women will experience some form of sexual assault during their college career. More than half of these women tell no one about their victimization. Programs like One is Too Many and It's on Us began at OSU in a response to a federal mandate to lower this statistic. The goal of these programs is to maintain a safe environment where students can live and learn without risk of sexual assault. It's on Us is a student organization that aims to empower students to speak up about the issue of sexual assault on college campuses. Kira Horton, the first ever It's on Us director, is working to use her position to encourage discussion.
A lot of students kind of just brush it off. It's a hard thing to talk about, and if one of our own is leading that talk, it's easier to kind of talk about it because it's a peer. So yeah.
In addition to It's on Us, One is Too Many is a university-enforced campaign in which students are required to complete an online training course about sexual assault prevention. Olivia Pendleton, a sexual assault prevention specialist for OSU, says that the program is invaluable for students to gain an understanding and knowledge on a tough subject.
I think that we have seen just like more students become very involved and very excited about what One is Too Many stands for. And so the more students we have that are really passionate about our work, then the more they're going to go tell their friends. They're going to talk about these things.
These programs not only aim to educate, but provide a resource where victims of sexual assault can get help and healing.
Organizations like It's On Us and One is Too Many put the cowboy motto of doing what's right, even when it's hard, into perspective. They are always giving students the resources to intervene when they see signs of sexual violence.
It's On Us and One is Too Many hope to continue to cultivate a culture of speaking out and leading by example against sexual assault. The message of these programs is clear. If you see something, say something. For Pete's Corner, I'm Caitlin Seiler.
Thanks, Caitlin. Considering October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, it's especially important to educate yourself and know the signs of abuse.
That's a good point, Kayla. You never know when you'll be able to help prevent an incident. We all have a responsibility to look out for one another.
You know who else has a lot of responsibility, Seth? Greeks. They set a huge example for students on campus, but Greek life across the country has been facing major backlash.
You're right. Many Greek houses and entire Greek councils have been shut down due to alcohol and hazing-related deaths. Allie Baden got in contact with leaders in OSU Greek life to find out what measures they're taking to combat these toxic trends in Greek life.
As hazing traditions intensify and alcohol consumption increases, the amount of deaths throughout Greek life communities on college campuses continues to rise. However, Oklahoma State is taking preventative steps to help combat tragedies like these. Greek 100 is a two-part student-led presentation that educates Greek life members on the consequences of substance abuse as well as the dangers of hazing members. The Office of Fraternity and Sorority Affairs wants to make sure Greek life chapters are creating a safe environment for their members.
On OSU's campus, we have a pretty great community here, and so luckily we haven't had some of those large-scale issues that you see on certain campuses that are related to their fraternity and sorority life, and so we want to continue to prevent that from happening here.
In the 2018-2019 school year alone, 8 hazing-related deaths occurred in colleges across the United States. Oklahoma State is doing everything in their ability to make sure a tragedy like that does not happen here on campus. This figure represents the amount of students whose lives could have been prevented if someone would have stepped in.
Bystander intervention is one of the main topics covered during a Greek 100 presentation. Along with intervention, consent, hazing awareness, and alcohol consumption are all covered during the presentation.
I think all Greek systems right now are kind of treading on thin ice, and so it's important to implement any program that we can to help stop those issues from happening.
The main goal of the presentations is to equip Greek life members for situations they may face while during college.
If it's something as little as them being at a party and a student stepping in and saying, hey, I think we need to take you home, or, you've had too much to drink, or you don't really know that person, I don't know that you should be speaking with them or going home with them. Anything that we can do to help just even one student is important to me.
While tragedies can never be fully prevented, OSU is taking the steps to educate its students to understand consequences of their actions while participants of Greek life. For Pete's Corner, this is Allie Baden.
It's great to hear that students and administrators are working hard to prevent future tragedies. Speaking of tragedies, Kayla, have you heard about all of the cases of missing Native American women in Oklahoma?
No, Seth, I hadn't, but can you tell me more?
I can't. But reporter Jesse Treese spoke with the education coordinator for the Native Alliance Against Violence to find out about this growing problem.
Oklahoma is part of an endemic. As of August 2019, over 5,000 American Indian women have been reported missing in the United States. The exact number can be difficult to pinpoint due to unanswered FOIA requests and missing reports, but as the number grows each year, families and organizations are fighting to bring more awareness to the dangers these women face on a daily basis.
Tribes have been taking this issue into their own hands and kind of forming campaigns, protests, and things like that, getting that knowledge out there for families and communities.
The missing women and children of the American Indian community covers almost the entire state of Oklahoma. Around 95% of the missing American Indian cases go uncovered by national media. Over 100 cases currently do not exist in police records.
The coverage, of, a blonde, missing, and you'll see that on TV for months, but it's not the equal coverage of, in the media.
Several women in the American Indian community are victims of domestic violence, and because of this, some missing persons reports go undocumented for the chances of them just fleeing an abusive relationship. But their friends and family don't think that's the case.
Our law enforcement agency response should always depend on the circumstances surrounding a person's disappearance, and it shouldn't focus on their race, their gender, their economic status, etc.
Despite the pain of missing their loved ones, those who remain continue to fight so that the lives of the victims are not forgotten.
Tribes have implemented programs that do help bring awareness to domestic violence, sexual abuse, anything like that that can really get that awareness out there to these families.
Tell me you have daughters. Tell me you don't want this for them. Tell me you won't joke about this with your friends. Tell me you won't forget we talk. Tell me you will do something. Do something.
For Pete's Corner, I'm Jessie Treese.
Wow, I had no idea that American Indian women had such a high risk for violence and abduction.
I know, it's such a terrible thing that's happening. The Native Alliance Against Violence is doing a very important job.
So true. Seth, I've been thinking about ways I can be better prepared to protect myself. I have this pepper spray.
You better watch where you're pointing that.
Chillax, dude. It's not even open.
Since you're interested in safety, how about taking a self-defense class?
Oh yeah, I heard that Evelyn Gatau sat in on some Taekwondo, Jitsu, and Judo classes at the Colvin.
Life is full of challenges. It is also unpredictable. Self-defense classes help you prepare for the unexpected situations and protect that gift of life. It's important to know how to defend yourself in real-life situations, and self-defense classes are the perfect place for you to start.
It's sad that we see people have to use it, but it's very affirming in what we do that we see people apply it in real life and to protect themselves.
With martial arts like Taekwondo and Krav Maga, you learn self-defense skills that naturally increase your confidence through various lessons and life skills.
With children in our Taekwondo program, they build confidence in themselves. They earn their ranks. We don't hand out a belt. It's something that they earn, and they can see their accomplishment.
Self-defense classes help by building up new techniques, physical abilities, and persistence, and so much more. Being able to protect yourself in all situations is a confidence booster as much as it is a reassurance.
There's a lot of different tools and techniques that we do our best to simulate real-life situations without causing any injuries or, getting hurt.
Classes like this help develop not only physical health, but also increases mental health.
I have several students that have ADD and ADHD. They learn how to cope with their situation and focus.
The Colvin also offers a lot of great self-defense classes like Judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They help foster a level of mental strength that allows individuals to instinctively take advantage of time and space when facing an unexpected attack.
It helps people learn situational awareness, how to avoid fights in general.
As you can see, these classes help develop your muscles, bones, and stamina. By developing these skills, you're able to respond to unforeseeable circumstances in lightning speed. Learning a new skill can bond people together, and people often find that they develop friendships out of their self-defense classes.
When you work and sweat and, these types of things with everybody, you get close.
Whether walking alone or night or traveling in a foreign country, you feel 10 times safer after having completed some self-defense classes. For Pete's Corner, I'm Evelyn Gatau.
Hiya!
Wow, I can really see that Evelyn talked you into taking some classes.
Yeah, I'm really excited to learn about Taekwondo, so catch me with my black belt in a couple of months.
Yikes. I'll make sure to stay on your good side. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I'll tell you everything that you need to know about major changes to gun policy in Oklahoma.
Stick around for more public safety tips and homecoming updates.
I need emergency assistance.
The Wind River Indian Reservation.
I'm Jane Vanner, FBI.
Welcome to Wyoming.
You by yourself?
It's just me.
That's Corey Lambert. He's the one who found the body.
This is a homicide.
I knew that girl. She's a fighter.
They have 6 officers to cover an area the size of Rhode Island. Maybe you can help.
I only know what the tracks say.
What is it that you do again?
I hunt predators.
So why don't you come hunt one for me then? Why would a teenage girl be out here? What is she running from?
You're looking for clues, but you're missing all the signs.
Should we wait for backup?
This isn't the land of backup, Jane. This is a land of you're on your own.
Oh my God. You won't get the answers you're looking for, no matter what you find. Why would your daughter run from home?
I don't know why. You didn't tell me.
Out here. You cannot blink. Not ever.
This place. What it takes from us. What it took from you.
I got lucky.
Luck lives in the city.
Get your hand off that weapon!
Luck don't live out here.
For the next segment of our show, we want to warn viewers who are sensitive to guns and violence to be advised.
In light of recent mass shootings in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio, Stillwater has seen changes in gun accessibility. In 2019 alone, there have been 325 mass shootings across the United States. What's really surprising to know is that more school-age children have been killed by firearms than police officers in the line of duty and active-duty military combined.
Seth, it's so sad to hear that shootings are on the rise. Being a student in 2019 is really hard when we're constantly having to question our own safety at school.
That's right, Kayla. But you know, major changes are coming that could affect our safety when it comes to gun-related violence. Liam Oram spoke with a major retailer regarding the removal of guns and ammunition from their stores.
An update now on that deadly shooting near a busy shopping mall in El Paso, Texas.
It seems all too often that you hear about another mass shooting taking place in the United States. Most times, there's a call for action for people to change the way that things are. For one business, things are finally changing. After the most recent shootings in Texas and Mississippi, Walmart announced a new policy that changes what is bought and sold when it comes to firearms and ammunition. The new policy expands on an older one and now bans the sale of short rifle ammunition, which includes .223 caliber and 5.56 caliber ammunition. While this ammunition can be used in hunting rifles, it can also be used in large capacity clips. The decrease in the sale of these types of ammunition will lead to Walmart dropping its market share of ammunition from 20% to just around 9%. The policy change was company-wide and was spread to Walmarts throughout the United States. Walmart brought on this new policy in an attempt to change what people can buy when it comes to firearms. For the communities that has been enacted in, such as Stillwater, the individuals who live there have mixed feelings over how it is working in their community.
Oh, I think it really helps. I mean, the idea that a madman could just come in a Walmart and buy a weapon of war and use it against me and my friends, that's really scary, you know? And so I think it's, I can see the arguments against it, but honestly, I think it's the best policy they could have.
Honestly, I don't think it affects the safety of most communities very much at all. I think that, you know, for the most part, people aren't walking into Walmart to buy guns to hurt people with.
Regardless of which side most people take on the new policy that Walmart has started, the effects will still be felt on the safety of the communities that it is implemented in. For Pete's Corner, I'm Liam Moore.
It's really cool to see Walmart taking a stand on national issues. You know, Kayla, major companies like Walmart have a huge possibility to enact change. It would be interesting to see if more businesses will continue this trend.
You're right, Seth. Walmart isn't the only one changing their policies. The entire state of Oklahoma is going to see a big shift. Beginning November 1st, Oklahoma will allow open carry without requiring gun owners to have a permit, making it the 14th state to loosen gun laws. Other states that allow constitutional carry include Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Idaho, Kansas, Maine, Mississippi, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Reporter Corbin Bauer spoke with OSU PD about how they're working to be more proactive in active shooter situations.
November 1st may mean the end of October for some, but for gun owners in Oklahoma, it means they will now be able to carry their weapon in public without a permit. Nicknamed the Constitutional Carry Law, the new law allows anyone with a gun to carry it in public without a background check or training. As the number of firearm deaths in the U.S. is increasing each year, the thought of an active shooter situation stirs in heads even here in Stillwater. Although gun policies will remain the same on campus, OSU PD is enacting training strategies that will eliminate threats before there are substantial casualties.
In the sense that we're trying to equip officers with the mindset and the training to understand they have to actively go in and eliminate the threat without waiting on people. Because the time that we spent in the past waiting on other officers to show up, people are actually dying. So we're to change in the mindset and the change in the training to understand that the longer we wait to eliminate that threat, the more lives that we're losing.
Even though they can't be there every moment, OSU PD advises students to use the run, hide, and fight method and to be aware of what is going on around them.
In those types of situations, they're highly evolving, they're very rapid, and they're fluid. A lot of things are changing. There's a lot of variables in the situation. So it's imperative that people remain aware of what's going on around them and not on their phones.
Although OSU PD is prepared to handle a firearm situation with the help of the Orange Shield app as well as their training, student supporters of the new law believe carrying a gun with them in public gives them a sense of security and preparedness if a shooting were to occur around them.
Now I can legally carry a tool to do that. So I hope and I pray that I never have to use it. But if I'm ever in a situation where it's life-threatening or one of my loved ones is, in a life-threatening situation, yeah, I'll be happy to have it.
However, not all students feel the same way. Students that disapprove of the law believe that those who purchase weapons should receive training and know the consequences a gun can bring.
Whenever you go out into the public and you have like the chance to where you're going to discharge that weapon, you need to have some sort of training. So you, not only to protect everyone around you, but to protect yourself.
The mayor and district legislators were contacted for comment but didn't respond. While some students get ready to carry their weapon, others grow more cautious, and law enforcement continue to protect. Those in public should always be ready to run, hide, and fight. For Pete's Corner, I'm Corbin Bauer.
I'm going to have to brush up on my gun safety and knowledge.
Same. I've also noticed that OSU PD has been more present on campus this semester.
Yeah, those guys are all over the place. What's the deal with that?
I think Rebecca Griggs caught up with the OSU Chief of Police to find out.
The Oklahoma State University Police Department is a fully accredited law enforcement agency tasked with protecting the over 25,000 students enrolled at OSU.
The accreditation for us means that we have a set of guidelines and standards and rules that are set forth by the Oklahoma Chiefs of Police Association, and we have to meet those standards, and that we follow our policies to the T, and we do exactly what we said we're doing for the community.
With so many students, staff, and visitors, safety is the OSU PD's biggest goal. With 36 officers and a constant presence on campus, they are only a call away.
I always say if you feel unsafe or if you feel just insecure about anything, definitely give us a call. That's what we're here for. Dial 911 if you have to, but just make sure you call us. Let us know what you need. We'll send an officer right away. Because I always say this is your safety is our main concern.
Oklahoma State University students can stay safe while using their phone. The Orange Shield app for Android and iOS gives students a way to stay connected to OSU police, get notifications, find buses, and stay self-aware. And it's all just at the click of a button.
There's several different features. So you have, of course, the emergency button, which calls 911, and it goes straight to our dispatch center. You also have where's the bus? So if you're waiting for the bus to arrive at a location to pick you up, you can look it on the app and find out exactly where the bus is.
The app also has a safe walk option. This allows students who feel unsafe walking to their car or to their dorms to have a group of students come walk them safely to their destination.
I definitely think Safe Walk is a great idea.
It definitely makes me feel safer to have the ability to use that option.
With such a large campus, thousands of students, and events happening every day, keeping OSU safe can be a hard task. But the OSU PD is highly trained and takes pride in keeping the community safe. For Pete's Corner, this is Rebecca Griggs.
Wow, the OSU Police Department on campus offers so many more resources than I knew about. I'm going to have to request a walking buddy with Safe Walk next time I'm leaving the journalism building at 2 a.m.
You know where else a walking buddy might be a good idea? After all-night pumping and homecoming walk-around.
So true. Homecoming is just around the corner. Pete's Corner.
I see what you did there. Danny Della Baptista has more information about what OSU is doing to increase public safety at homecoming.
With homecoming just around the corner, students are not the only ones preparing for the big weekend. Because Oklahoma State is known for America's greatest homecoming, the turnout is always large, which calls for more security.
Collaboration with the Stillwater Police Department, Stillwater Fire Department, OHP, Oklahoma Highway Patrol, 63rd Civil Support, which is a military branch. There's a ton of entities that go into a teamwork mode, and we prepare months in advance.
For OSU students like Amy Bennett, the concern for safety is always in the back of their minds ever since the tragedy of the 2015 homecoming.
If something bad could happen again. That's why it's so important to me that the Stillwater community has a plan so that my friends and family can remain safe during homecoming.
Now that it's been 4 years since a heartbreaking event, OSU Police has taken further safety measures to make sure these streets are safer for 2019's homecoming.
Homecoming, the preparation process has evolved since 2015. Given the incident that occurred, the homecoming crash, we wanted to ensure that we can provide a safer environment for the constituents or patrons of the parades and associated homecoming events. Stillwater Police Department and OSU PD up staff to help prepare for the event and provide additional resources across the board. So you should see a lot more of a police presence this year.
As the D-Day for homecoming gets closer and closer, OSU Police and Stillwater Police make sure to be as prepared as possible to keep OSU students and families safe during the weekend. From Pete's Corner, I'm Danny Della Baptista.
After this show, I have so many new safety tips, and now I'll really be able to relax and experience homecoming to the fullest.
Yes, and now I can enjoy America's greatest homecoming while knowing that my safety is in good hands. But you know what, Seth? Every year around homecoming, I can't help but think about the 2015 tragedy.
So many families were impacted by the homecoming tragedy of 2015. I wonder how they're doing now. Sam Page met with one of the families to get an update on what's happened since.
The effects of a tragedy can last a lifetime. For Stillwater High School student Alan Campbell, Oklahoma State's 2015 homecoming parade tragedy continues to affect him.
From what I can remember, what happened to me was I got a broken femur, a head trauma, a shoulder injury, and then just a bunch of scrapes and bruises.
While Alan holds no grudges against OSU or the city of Stillwater, he still feels like there could have been more security measures taken that fateful day.
Having like some extra security borders and knowing how large the event is. Just like making sure that they're always like watching, kind of looking around to make sure nothing's out of the normal. And if they do, to like try to stop the action before the consequences happen.
With 4 people dead and 47 injured, it's a miracle that Alan made it out alive. This event not only changed his life, but it also changed the lives of the people around him, including his mother, father, and his brothers.
They have any idea of what had happened probably for about 2 or 3 hours. Because whenever I got down there, he was loaded up in a truck to go, and it was get in the truck, let's go.
Through the odds, Alan has become an inspiration to others who have been through similar incidents.
There was a kid in Oklahoma City that was hit by a car that got off a bus, and they reached out to us through Facebook. We actually went to Oklahoma City and met that kid because he was having a hard time transitioning to the why me. And so we just went and hung out with him for a day so that child could see, so they were the same age, that could see somebody else that had been through what he had been through.
Though OSU has increased security at the event, there is no way of telling when a future disaster will happen. This has not stopped Alan from living his life to the best of his ability or from becoming a positive influence for others that are dealing with similar circumstances.
For Pete's Corner, this is Sam Page.
Thanks, Sam, for catching up with Alan. It's great to hear that he's overcome his circumstances.
Absolutely. It seems like he's making a really positive impact in the community.
You're right, Kayla. And there's so many people that are making a difference in Stillwater on a daily basis.
We would like to take a moment of silence to remember the victims and families of those who are missing or have been affected by abuse, shootings, and public violence. Thank you for joining us in honoring those who have been impacted. This has been another episode of Pete's Corner.
Join us next week when we break down everything you need to know about America's greatest homecoming.